Alright, we are up and running. And I only have like maybe 2 hours to just stream today, so basically I'm just chilling for a little bit. Today, though, I am going to be working on editing a bit of photos that I collected. I'm going to switch to view. So I took some pictures. I just basically want to edit a little bit. So these pictures aren't needed anymore. I already edited all these, so. Make sure Peregrine Bot's online too. So I took a lot of pictures for the fire department recently, and essentially I'm just going to get the ones that look nice. Like I need to get rid of a lot of the ones that are up here. This is from our CPR class, and you guys can see like we learned how to do like a Heimlich maneuver on babies and stuff. It's a pretty good class, and this is what you need to learn this stuff if you want to become like a firefighter. You have to learn CPR and how to use an AED and stuff. There's me. Got my double chin action going on down here. I have to be careful. I'll start looking like Mitch McConnell if I don't take care of that. It's a little bit of a dark picture, but this is the paddle party. I'm going to be working on these photos actually, so we might as well get started. Alright, so open this up. Yeah, it's just gonna be a chill stream. Like I said, it's only gonna be like 2 hours, but it's nice to hang out with you guys every moment I can have. It's a little grainy. I don't know if I can rate. Let me see if I can. Sometimes like the editor does this though. It just brightens it up before I actually edit it, and it's not actually brightened up, you know, it's just brightened up for my sake. What does designer do? Never actually worked with designer. Oh, okay. I'll see what I can do, but it's just weird that, get rid of these real quick. Just weird that it brightens it up automatically. I'm trying to like have it so it doesn't do that. I need to do like some denoising and all that stuff. First, I need to like go through these and make sure. I need to make sure I get the photos that are worth keeping. Not every photo is going to be great. Here's a cool one though. Let me see if I can find it. This is from from the academy, and we're doing forcible entry. So we're trying to pry this door open. There's like a little wooden block right here. And what we do is we put something called a halogen in here. And the halogen acts as like a pry bar, like a heavy duty pry bar. And we wedge that in there as deep as we can get it. And then we pry the door open as hard as we can. And then sometimes we don't have enough leverage, so this black pole right here, this is called a New York pike, and it has like so many different purposes. You can use the New York pike for extra leverage. Like you essentially wedge this with the halogen, and it acts as extra leverage to pry it open. It's a really handy tool. So let's select, I need to get rid of these pictures. That's from the stream the other day. Is that all? Did I finish downloading all of them? I'm going to actually do this too. I need to format this. Yeah. Canon T7. God damn it. There we go. Do a long format. Alright, so we'll select all, and then we're going to open. So that picture we could get rid of, because one of my fellow firefighters has his eyes open. Can I scroll through? Let me do that. That one's actually pretty decent, but Brandy's mouth is kind of weird. Yeah, don't. That one's nice. Between the two of these, I'd choose that one. Oh, who's calling me? Getting like a lot of spam callers recently. Hello?
George Lopez. Boy, he's a very funny guy. Yes, all right, all right, all right. All right, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah, that's good. You know, we just really getting started here, so you just stay tuned and don't go nowhere because I know where you live. All right. All right. All right, yeah.
A&E's An Evening at the Improv will return after this.
Some people buy a prestigious German motor car just to spend and make a big impression at the curb. Not so Volkswagen Passat owners. For them, European driving's the thing and Farfignugan's the word. And as for making an impression, well, nothing impresses a valet more than a man who knows the value of a buck.
It's almost as if someone once said, just in case people like sunshine and fun and water, we'd better make Florida. And we'd better make miles of beautiful beaches, just in case people want to go to them. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, all across America. And nationwide, Alamo's the only company that can give you all those miles for free, including the 100,000 miles of sunshine on a road in Florida that runs from coast to coast to coast.
Painter, poet, and a Hollywood legend. The Extraordinary Life of James Cagney. Tuesday on an all-new biography.
Fisher-Price Dino Roars. They're a scream.
Fisher-Price makes the night a little brighter with the Puffalum Snuggle Light. She's soft, cuddly, and best of all, when you hug her, her face lights up, and so does somebody else's.
This year at Hallmark, you'll get 5 extra Christmas cards free when you buy specially marked packages. That's 5 more people whose holidays will be a little brighter because they heard from you. This Christmas, there's no place like Hallmark.
Most people choose Jiffy Lube for the same.
Station 220, you have been requested for your brush. Operations
My microphone
are
wasn't
going to be
even
on
on.
North Public Safety.
I hate it when I do that.
Copy. Operations are going to be North Public Safety.
I wonder if I could do... I should get like a new... or I should download a actual photo editor. Or do it all on a different application. Try and look into like what photo editing app would be best for this case. It's 102 photos, God. Alright, so we'll use PhotoP. I've used PhotoP before. I actually really enjoy PhotoP. Eating like a whole tub of ice cream. Because why not? I do these things. Like, and I'm lactose intolerant. Like, I'll put milk in literally everything. And then I wonder why I have stomach issues later. When I say stomach issues, that can already be inferred. You can imply what stomach issues means. Or wait. You can infer what stomach issues mean. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. So this is a good lesson on how to read a histogram, though. Histogram's actually really nice here. So the goal of the histogram is to make sure like all your everything is like kind of on the same plane as much as possible. Like right here, shadows can come down. Yeah. Pretty drastically. Right here is good for whites, blacks. Bring it out a little bit. Ooh, look how different that is. That's good. Vibrance. Saturation. I don't like messing with saturation too much. Texture's really good. Clarity. Yeah, we'll stretch that out. That looks really good. Alright, so I don't know if it's going to give me the option to crop this. Come on. Any day now. Yeah, I guess we'll just crop it in here. What you're looking at when you're cropping is to find like what's good for like your thirds. So that looks good right there. Save, and then we'll put this in here. There we go. Okay, so we're done with that one. We'll go to the next photo. Right about here. You do want to bring out the highlights. Yeah. Knowing how to read a histogram is actually really helpful. I just not recent, but like within the last year, I actually learned how to read it. And it's actually truly helping how I process my images. Like right about there's like true to life. Now you can see like why it takes so long to edit this stuff. Try to get it like right here. Yeah, 16:9 would be good here. I actually don't think I like this photo that much. I mean, I'll keep it. Why not? Because it's more or less like showing the photo for these guys too. Alright, this one. Nah, not a big fan of that one. No, go away. That's a good one. Alright. I wonder if I can... Alright, we need to bring this down to here, just about. Raise our contrast to spread things out a bit. I don't want our highlights to be too much. See if I could bring... It's still gonna bring out those... I guess I'm not gonna be able to help it too much, but that's fine. Yeah, bring these blacks down. There we go. And then change the temperature to make it a little warmer. Yeah, that looks a lot more true to life right there. And then maybe we'll bring up the exposure a little bit. There we go. So fix the vibrance. Give it a little bit more saturation, not too much. Get these effects in here too. Texture probably will be nice because it kind of spreads out. Okay. Got a lot more to do. This is like therapeutic though. It's nice. Alright, so is that saved? Did I get it? Yep. Alright, so now go back. It does this. I hate it when it does that. No. Download. Okay, open this guy up. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Now I just crop this and make it look a little bit more focused. Yeah, maybe like right in the middle of them. Try to keep like these three like blocks on the right explicitly for the host stream, and I would like to get like even tighter, like put that right there, but I also have to make sure that I give these guys headroom. So I'm thinking probably cut back on down here. I think that's as good as we're going to get it. It's all about composition, you know. You have to try to find ways to make, like, the most mundane picture look like it has like a lot of meaning behind it. Like, your pictures mean nothing unless you edit them with the amount of care, or unless you edit them within amount of care. Jeez, I don't know what's going on today. All right, so that's picture number 3. I got like 100 more to go. Let me see here. Okay. So now on to the next picture, and see if I could find next one on the list. It's going to be this one, I think. Yeah, we can actually work with this too once we get the color grading and the color corrections taken care of. So I'm thinking like right about here. Get our contrast up. Highlights. Yeah, we can bring highlights there. So whenever it comes to looking at your photo and trying to figure out how you should color grade it, how I go through the process, you know, there's probably a better process out there that I don't know, but it's a matter of looking at the histogram and also looking at the picture. So even though the histogram tells you, hey, this is what you need, like this is what's popping out the most, what does your photo tell you? That's your main source of information there. So right now it's kind of dark, but what is dark exactly, and what's too much? Like right now, the reds are really popping through, so maybe we could try to bring that down. But maybe I should also bring up my whites without like affecting this guy on the right here, because what's happening is all this snow is actually affecting how it's actually being presented. If I just change my temperature, you see how that blue kind of goes down? It's because it's already on a cooler kind of temperature. If I warm that temperature up, now I have a little bit more wiggle room to work with. I'm going to bring down the shadows even more. I could even bring this down now. It's all about manipulating. You're just manipulating it to work for you. And it's good practice too. Like, I do a lot of video editing, but to understand the pictures a little, to actually get involved with the photography process will help you as a videographer even more. EPA signals, it will slash climate and pollution rules, including for cars and power plants. Neat. Get another bite of my ice cream. And I use this guy, this like web tool, just because I I hate Adobe with a burning passion. And I think that's I think I made that very clear in like one of my recent streams. Adobe is just like, they're just like predators, man. They don't care about like their end users. They only care about the profit. Okay. And it's not to say that just because you're a business, you shouldn't focus on profit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you are a business, you should care about what your end users are telling you. And they aren't caring whatsoever. So I'll try to follow, I'll try to do something like this. Make the nozzle more like the focal point. Because you notice, like, there are intersections with each of these thirds, we'll call them. And each third represents like a focal point. And granted, these aren't the most like inspiring photos in the world, but I'm just doing it because I want to like practice, and secondly, I want to actually showcase what I can do to the fire department and stuff. Now this is a really fun one. This is a good one. All right, so first things first, I'll fix the temperature, make it a little warmer, make it more aligned. You see on the histogram, like when they're off like that, it kind of gives you an idea of, hey, your white balance is off. But if they are aligned, then hey, I think we're getting somewhere. Try to brighten it up, like make it more in the center there. And then adding the contrast. There we go. We can turn down the highlights to like around here. We don't want the shadows to be, we actually want the shadows to be much lower, like right. Shadows you want to bring down almost every single time. Ooh, that's a little too bright. Yeah, right there is good. Okay, cool. So the vibrance is just like kind of pop, like making the colors pop a little bit. The stream actually is starting to feel like a Bob Ross video, and I don't mind it. Saturation, I hate messing with saturation too much. Because if you oversaturate something, watch. Like it just kind of doesn't look right. It looks a little off-putting. I used to oversaturate everything when I was younger. Got away from that habit. Like I would used to edit my photos all the time on my PC back in the day, and they look so corny. Especially my profile pictures. I added like all these what do you call it? Effects and stuff. And, you know, when you're a kid, you want to experiment with that stuff. But it didn't help. It didn't help, didn't help my case too much because it kind of made it look very corny. Yeah, like right here where his hands are. And maybe I'll bring it back even more. Give him headroom, make the photo look pretty balanced. That looks pretty neat, right? So maybe back a little bit more, like right here. It sounds like it's gonna be me. No, please don't. If you hear the that means I have to go. Yeah, that's a really good one. I like this one.
Vehicle hit by a train.
By a train?
Ohio River Boulevard and River Road in Glen Osborne. Stations 258, 101, 148. Respond on Fire 5, 1629.
Holy shit. Train hit a vehicle. Or a vehicle was stupid and was on the railroad tracks. That happens, like... That shouldn't happen as much as it should. Like, it's kind of insane. Alright, this one's next. So we'll bring this one over. I got so many pictures to go through. Alright, let's fix our temperature. Like right about here.
County 250, Jason.
I don't know what's going on there. I didn't want that. I don't know why it... Let me see if I can reload that. Okay. Tint is at 140. Okay. Bring our exposure. We'll bring it up. Since, like, you notice, like, how the exposure at the beginning is kind of... It's kind of, like, skewed towards the left a bit. If you bring it up, it kind of balances all the light, distributes the light a little bit better. And then contrasting it kind of flattens all that exposure. And then with the highlights, you want to just, like, you know, whatever's over here is your highlights. Shadows are more on the left. The one thing it doesn't have on this, on the photo peak, is that it doesn't have mids.
Light crossing. I don't have anything. You got a better update or callback?
I can also do this on DaVinci. I should be doing this on DaVinci. I don't see why not. I don't see why I shouldn't. I could try. -1's fine.
All 258 units stand by at this time. 101, 148 all set, we can get verification.
Oh man, there's a lot of people going to that one. You could hear the sirens in the background.
Alright, stay with the water company for now.
Man. I don't know. That's a sketchy one. It's gonna be sad. I hope no one got seriously hurt. If you get hit by a train, though, you're more than likely in serious trouble. Not like legally or anything, but I'm saying like medically, you might be in trouble. So I hope they're okay.
further information.
Alright, I'm going to try doing this in DaVinci just to kind of expedite this process because it's kind of slow. Alright, where are we at? We need to get 1, 2, got all these. So these are all the pictures right here that we have to go through. And we can do it all in this guy here. This is colors. So let me see if I can put them in here. We'll start from the beginning. Well, actually, we'll work our way backwards.
County 58.
So I've never used DaVinci for photos. So I wonder if I can.
No trains, cars, no accidents. You can call fire units back in.
How do I do this?
Appreciate all units. River Boulevard, you can return in service 1635.
Oh, they're okay. Okay, that's good. Wonder if I have to throw these on the timeline. I probably have to throw them all on the timeline, so hold on. It's kind of funny. Try to get it like 6,000 by 4,000.
Yeah, but you didn't see nothing coming down your way, did you? Negative, I was watching.
Okay, so now that those are in the timeline, it should be able to... Yeah, there we go. Go to this one. I don't think I can bring this down, can I? I need to learn how to do nodes anyway. Like, we're not going to really mess with the... what do you call it? We're not going to mess with like effects and stuff, but we're mainly going to work on just color grading. And look how much more advanced this is compared to Photo-P. So again, let's focus on our temperature. And that should be... Where's temperature at? Here. You gonna adjust? Where's this? Q. Let me reset this. Because I would like to see if the histogram adjusts. I should learn, like, honestly, let me pull up the YouTube video on this. Because I want to learn more about color anyway. Why is this not popping up though? Come on. Love how I like have all these things and they don't want to work. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. Come on. Oh, that's audio. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. Wrong thing. Still doing audio. Oh, okay, this one. Alright, and put this here. Alright, so let me pull this guy out. Don't wanna use that. I'm gonna use this guy. So I need to switch. Need to switch my PIP and put it to this guy. Sorry, there's gonna be like a crazy Twitter thing popping up. Oh, cool. Where am I at? Opera. Right here. Is that it? No, that's not it. This one. So yeah, don't mind that. I'm gonna switch to. It's just for like a video I saw. So let's do DaVinci Resolve, color tutorial. Hate this. I have an ad blocker, but sometimes it like freaks out. You have to reload it.
Hi, my name's Darren Mostyn. I'm a professional broadcast colorist. I've been using DaVinci Resolve for well over 13 years now. And I did an episode last week where I introduced DaVinci Resolve to complete newbies. So you've literally never opened DaVinci Resolve in your life. You haven't got a clue what it even is. And I just did a good overview episode. And in the comments, I got a lot of very positive feedback about that, saying they wish they'd had this video earlier. So what I've done is I'm going to do the same, but specifically for the color page. So this is really for people who've, you've maybe been in the edit page, you've done a bit of editing, you've gone into the color page to start a grade, and you're literally looking at this going, what on earth is going on here? I'm going to demystify it for you I'm hoping to do this in about 10-15 minutes. We're not going into color management, anything deep. This is just an absolute beginner's guide to what is going on in the color page. So let's go and take a look. So we're in the color page. This is the timeline that I used in that previous episode. If you are brand new to DaVinci Resolve, go and watch that episode first. I'll put a link
Turn down
in the top,
music
and
a
I'll
little
put a
bit.
link in the description, and I'll put a link in that episode linking you back to this one so you can concentrate on the color page. But basically, yeah, this is just an overview of the color page, and you just need to know that these pages all talk to each other. So the edit that's sitting here, if I make an edit adjustment to it, let's just trim it down a little bit, that has updated automatically for me in the color page. So you need to get that concept good. If your color page doesn't look exactly like this, it does change slightly depending on the resolution of your display that you're working on. So I've got a large resolution display here, but if you go up to workspace at the top and press here, reset UI layout, okay, that will put your user interface back to default, and it might look something a little bit more like this. But each of these windows can be adjusted, set resolution of you for me in the color page. So you need to get that concept good. If your color page doesn't look exactly like this, it does change slightly depending on the resolution of your display that you're working on. So I've got a large resolution display here, but if you go up to workspace at the top and press here, reset UI layout, okay, that will put your user interface back to default, and it might look something a little bit more like this. But each of these windows can be adjusted quite easily. So we can take off the gallery, for example. We can have a look at our media pool. So the media pool is exactly the same as the media pool that's in the edit page, and indeed the media page here. All right, so we can still see our clips here. And let's switch that one off and put our gallery
that looks pretty
back
neat.
to default. And you can see here that we've only got 2 clips. These are the 2 clips that we used in the previous episode. I want to have a look at a different edit. So we can either go to the edit page, and I can go to my sequences tab that I've got here, and I got another one here. So if I double click this sequence, you see that we've actually got 11 shots in here now. So if I go back to the color page, that is the sequence that I'm going to be affecting. You can also access those from up here. Okay, so I've got timeline 1, and I've got the finished edit. And all I've got to do is literally start grading. So what is going on here? This area here, let's start in the top left corner, it says no stills created. And that is our gallery. So I'm going to come to what that is in a moment. We need to do a little bit of grading first to explain what that actually is. You might see it like this, you might have these little folders here, but essentially we haven't created any stills yet, okay? And a still is basically going to contain our grade. This is our main viewer. So if I press play, I can use my spacebar. I can use the play button here. This has got me into loop mode, so I just literally stay on that clip.
Yeah, I don't even need a loop mode. It's just like, these are still photos, so.
Alright, so this is our main viewer. So this is exact mirror of what I've got going on my output monitor. This area here is our node area.
Dude, look at this guy's like setup though. That's one hell of a workspace.
What a node is. So down here, this is obviously each of my shots, so I can go through my edit like this. Okay, this could be a 1 minute shot, it could be a 10-second shot, it doesn't really matter to me, it's a shot that needs grading.
Yeah.
This section here is our primary controls. Primary control means it affects the whole image. So if I go onto the first shot here, and let's just have a quick look at what these actual wheels are doing. So these are your main tools for doing your main color grading. So the small area in the middle adjusts the color. So if I just push this towards red, you can see the image gets warmer and cooler like that. And this slider down here adjusts the actual overall brightness. So with offset, we're adjusting the whole image, okay? Now I can measure that easier using what's called the scopes. So if I click over here, I've got this tool here, which is a scope. This is measuring the brightness and the color information that's in the image. So watch what happens when I move this up and down. The whole graph moves up and down. All right. So the offset is affecting the whole image. If I just reset that, what I'm going to do now is adjust gain, and you'll see that what happens now is it affects the highlights more than it does the shadows. So the shadows are down here, the highlights are up here.
Let me bring this back.
Okay, now
I'm like that kind of person that has to repeat and repeat.
I've got this tool here, which is this is measuring the brightness and the color information that's in the image. So watch what happens when I move this up and down. The whole graph moves up and down. All right. So the offset is affecting the whole image. If I just reset that, what I'm going to do now is adjust gain, and you'll see that what happens now is it affects the highlights more than it does the shadows. So the shadows are down here, the highlights are up here, and obviously this area here is your midtones. All right. So if I use lift, that would affect the more darker areas, the shadow areas. So if I pull that down, you can see there that the black level, so 0 is black, 1023 is white, is pushing down. All right. So that's the basis.
I would like to understand the scopes a little bit better. So waveform, parade,
okay. Now I can measure
vector scope. These are some cool.
So if I click over here, I've got this tool here, which is scope. This is measuring.
Wow, what is that?
And the color information that's in the image.
What does that do?
What happens when I move this up and down?
Whoa.
The graph moves up and down. All right. So the offset is affecting the whole image. If I just reset that, what I'm going to do now is adjust gain, and you'll see that what happens now is it affects the highlights more than it does the.
I'm not paying attention to him. I'm like playing with my tools as he's talking, and I need to just simply pay attention to him.
The whole graph moves up and down.
Yeah.
Right. So the offset is affecting the whole image. If I just reset that, what I'm going to do now is adjust gain, and you'll see that what happens now is it affects the highlights more than it does the shadows. So the shadows are down here, the highlights are up here, and obviously this area here is your midtones. All right. So if I use lift, that would affect the more darker areas, the shadow areas. So if I pull that down, you can see there that the black level, so 0 is black, 1023 is white, is pushing down. All right. So that's the basis of the grade. Now, while we've been pressing these buttons, what's been happening is our node here has been recording that information.
Yeah.
There's a little symbol here, and we've now got a little coloured icon around the first edit number indicating that we have done a grade. Now if I click the number here, 01, because that's our first node, that will disable that, and that was the original image, and this is what we just did. So a combination of these tools here has given us this result. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is add another node. So I'm going to right hand click on this node, I'm going to say add node, and all we're going to work in is what's called serials. Okay, so this is a node after a node. And if I now click on this node here, we have got some other tools here. Okay, all these other tools here. So I can go here to saturation, for example. So saturation is going to increase or decrease our color. So I'm going to boost it up a little bit, and you can see it's getting more colorful now. So that information is recorded on node 2. Why did I do it on another node? I didn't have to. I could have done all that just on node 1. So let me show you. I'm going to reset that and click on node 1. Sorry, I just right click on this and set it. Node there. Click on node 1, so this node is the active one. I'm going to do that same amount of saturation, and that looks absolutely the same. I've done exactly the same move, but this node now contains offset information, lift information, gain information, and saturation information. So that's a lot of information in just one node. So for me, I like to separate it out into separate things. If I wanted to see what that looked like with no saturation changes, it's hard for me to do that. I have to literally reset.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
If I did saturation on a separate node, watch now, I can highlight number 2, or just press on the number 2, and I'm taking off the saturation, but I'm keeping this node's values. So we're keeping the level adjustment that we made. So that's really one of the main reasons I use nodes. Okay, it just allows me to build up the look in layers, which you can then switch on and off, and it just keeps it very managed. And then once I'm happy with what I've done, I just literally add another node. So let's right hand click and say add node, add serial. You can also use option S to do that. So this node here is now empty. If I switch it on and off, nothing happens. If I switch this one off, the saturation goes down. And if I switch this one off, the saturation will stay, but the level change that we did is disabled. All right, so you can see we're just building up these layers. All right, so let's have a look at what other tools we've got here. These are the primary color wheels. This icon here is exactly the same color wheels, just represented in a different form. Okay, so you might see it looking like this. Again, if I just adjust my offset, it's doing exactly the same thing. These little icons here will reset that. So this one and this one are exactly the same. I'm not going to go through all of these tools because some of these get quite advanced. This is your main area. So in here, you want to play with your lift, gamma, gain. I suggest you work with your offset first. So this shot is looking a little bit warm. So if I use my offset and literally pull that down away from the warm colours and into these cooler colours, you'll see that very quickly we've smartened that image up. And if I just go to my shadows, let's just pull them down a little bit. And there we go, we've got a really nice looking image. If you press Command and D, you can disable that single node as well. If you press Shift and D, you'll disable the whole grade. So that's the shot that we had originally from the edit page, and there it is with our color grade. Now if I go back to the edit page,
so it's Alt S with Windows.
Shift,
if you want to add a serial.
There's without the grade, there's the grade, because it's just talking to that page. All right, let's add another node. I'm going to add another serial. I'm only going to work in serials. You can move these around. You can do whatever you like. If I do that, by the way, it doesn't